Oh my god, if you would have told me 2 months ago it would be a Marvel movie that started an online war with liberals, Republicans, conservatives, comic book fans, the general movie going audience, I would not have believed you in a million years. Yet, here we are. So I want to thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel and hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who gave some positive feedback, including some negative feedback regarding my first couple videos. I really do appreciate it. I've been kind of absent as far as my YouTube channel is concerned. My band Defy the Tyrants is getting ready to release our new EP, and I've been swamped with doing video editing. I really want to thank you guys for having some patience. I am going to be putting out some more videos coming up very soon. I have a lot of ideas and I can't wait to share them with you guys. As you guys can see as well, there are some changes up in our studio. Got some guitars mounted, got my new monitor. This is my 32-inch Vizio. Not really a monitor, it's a smart TV, but I really enjoy using this shit in the studio. We're gonna try and wall mount it later, so right now it's just kind of standing on our shelf, but at some point it's gonna be wall mounted and it's gonna look fucking sick. So on this episode, I am reviewing the newest installment into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's right, I'm reviewing Captain Marvel. And goddamn, does this movie come with a lot of baggage. So disclaimer, I'm reviewing this movie. This episode is a review, but at the end of the review, I'm gonna be doing a quick discussion on my thoughts regarding this movie's criticism about it being pro-SJW, pro-liberal, pro-feminism, all this other shit that it's being accused of. And in many ways it is, and in many ways it isn't. So I kind of want to get into that aspect as well because it's such a controversial topic and I do nothing but bitch online about it. So I might as well do it as well here on YouTube with you guys. Thank you guys. All right, so first let's get into the things that I liked about this movie. Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, I felt was a strength in this movie. A lot of people felt that she was miscasted. Honestly, I could understand where that's coming from because reading the Captain Marvel comics for the last couple of years, I always thought Charlize Theron would be a great Carol Danvers. And when Brie Larson got casted, I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? But you know what? She did a great job and I really enjoyed her performance. There's a scene in this movie, it's towards the end, it's in the end credits. To me, that was Carol Danvers. Like, she finally got to Captain Marvel. And it's actually not a part of this movie, it's a part of Avengers Endgame. We'll get to the end credits scene in just a bit. In the movie, she's in a lot of ways very stoic, but that's because she's also portraying a soldier. She's portraying an Air Force pilot. And I thought that was perfectly acceptable for her character currently in this film. As far as going further, I would like to see her hit some more emotional beats, but because of the story in this movie and the whole soldier aspect regarding her training as a Kree soldier, regarding her training as an Air Force pilot, I completely understood where the directors were going for as far as her emotional beats in this film went. However, she was not my favorite character by far in this movie. I really enjoyed Samuel Jackson coming back as Nick Fury.
How do we know you're not one of those shapeshifters?
Congratulations, Agent Fury. You have finally asked a relevant question.
Oh, congratulations to you, Star Force lady. You're under arrest.
He totally changed the character up again. He gave the character a lot more depth. I was watching Captain America Winter Soldier earlier today before doing this review, and just kind of seeing this darker aspect of the character that we've come to know as Nick Fury, and then going back to Captain Marvel where he's basically Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon. He's a badass who goofs around. Sometimes he has no clue what the fuck he's doing. He's not level 5 yet, but he did bring a lot of lightheartedness to this film, and I really enjoyed Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury and getting a different kind of Nick Fury. I know a lot of people are really pissed about how the directors revealed how Nick Fury lost his eye. I fucking thought it was brilliant. I loved it. I was laughing my ass off. You gotta see it to believe it. Pretty kitty, pretty kitty. Also, it was such a nice treat seeing Clark Gregg come back as Phil Coulson, even if it was just for a little bit. I've been watching Phil Coulson every year during every season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since the first Avengers movie, and it was really nice to get almost a different character out of it. And he didn't play the character different, he was just put into a different setting. But still, like I said, it was nice seeing Clark Gregg come back and kicking ass as Phil Coulson. Also, I want to talk about my dude, Ben Mendelsohn, coming back from Ready Player One and kicking ass as the Skrull leader, Talos. Ben Mendelsohn, at first menacing, scary, really, really badass villain, and then the twist happens.
What a twist!
And you see a different side to Talos. You see a different portrayal of this character, that Ben Mendelsohn just kills that. He murdered this role. I don't know what Marvel's been up to in the last couple years, but they've really upped their game in the villain category. I use quotes villain because, yeah, for the first half of this movie, Talos is a villain. And then, okay, so my favorite character of this movie, and I'm not really saying this because I didn't like any of the other actors or anything like that, but just because of how charming this character was, Goose the cat was the most badass character in this film. He's fucking adorable. If you read the comics, you already know that Goose is a Flarkin. Seeing the reveal was the funniest part of this movie. And seeing Samuel Jackson's kind of reaction to it was magic. Let's talk about the CGI real quick. So when I say this, I'm not saying this because I'm over exaggerating. The CGI in Captain Marvel definitely could rival that of Infinity War. A lot of times when you see a movie in the theater, the CGI could come out kind of blurry depending on the projector, depending on what kind of screen you're watching it on. Just the look of the CGI on a regular screen was amazing, and there was a lot of aspects of this movie CGI wise that just completely worked. There are some parts in this movie that look like it could be like an iPhone wallpaper, or like you could put it on like your desktop. Warner Brothers should be taking notes on what the fuck Marvel's doing with Captain Marvel, Infinity War, and Thor Ragnarok, because god damn it, the CGI in this movie was so fucking clean. Going to the negatives, I'm just gonna start off. Jude Law did not work for me in this movie. I don't know why the directors casted him. He was not working at all. Very, very bland character. The Jude Law thing fell flat for me. I want to talk about the use of some music in this movie. A lot of the 90s tunes that they use, you know, you had everything from TLC to No Doubt being used. There was a lot of Bush posters, which was pretty cool. I thought that the 90s nostalgia aspect of this movie was not overly done. I thought it was just sprinkled in here and there. Towards the end, when they're doing the climax fight scene and then you have No Doubt's Just a Girl playing over it, I'm like, that's not really a fight song. You didn't really need to do that. No Doubt has like some more like aggressive songs. Like, I know they're not a metal band, but you know, they do have like more like upbeat songs that you can like throw down to. Just a Girl was not one of them. Didn't like that use or that piece in that scene. But I did like the 90s nostalgia throughout this movie. The pacing of this movie was not great. The tone kept going back and forth into, oh, this is a 90s action buddy cop movie, into this is a serious war film, into like, this is a betrayal, and it's the tone was all over the place. Now this movie, for a Marvel movie, is very dialogue heavy. There's a lot of story in this movie, and there was a lot of points where it got boring. I know that a lot of people did like Carol Danvers' best friend. I forget the actress's name, but they liked her in the movie and they liked her daughter in the movie. I liked it too for about 5 minutes, and then I was over it. I did not like Star Force. I didn't like how Ronan was kind of shoehorned into this movie. I was actually excited to see how Ronan was going to be used in this movie, and he's in the movie for like 2 minutes. He's in the movie for 2 minutes. There was no point in him being in this goddamn movie. There's a large portion of this movie towards the middle that just came off as boring. I really enjoyed the action sequences, and usually what Marvel does is you'll have big action sequence, dialogue heavy sequence, and then another action sequence, which is part of their formula. And I know that in this movie they probably tried to deviate from that, which is fine. However, the story wasn't exciting enough for it to happen. One of the coolest things about Captain Marvel is she can fly, and she can fly in space. She can breathe in space, she can fly in space. And that's a huge part of her character and how her character is represented in Marvel Comics. Tell me why the fuck she's only flying for about 15 minutes of this goddamn movie, and when she does start flying, she just does it out of nowhere, like out of nowhere. And I'm like, dude, I know that you're an Air Force pilot and that's all cool, you have flying in your background, but in Man of Steel, they showed Superman fucking up when he was learning how to fly. She just starts flying, and all of a sudden she's a tactician and a strategist, and she knows how to utilize her body in that way and how to utilize her blast in that way. What the fuck are you doing? You're just pushing the movie way too fast, and it didn't work for me. I really enjoyed the third act of this movie. I really enjoyed the whole dogfight battle that Carol Danvers had with the other Skrull Warriors, and it was really cool to see. I just didn't like the lead up to it, and I didn't like that it happened out of nowhere. Thanos. Going into this next part, spoilers. If you are planning on watching Endgame and want to go into it knowing absolutely nothing at all, and you're skipping Captain Marvel, tune out now. So 2 of my favorite scenes in this movie happen in the end credits. They were the end credit scenes, which is terrible when you go through a 2.5 hour movie and your favorite scenes are literally the last 2 scenes of the movie that really don't have much to do with the movie at all. So the first end credit scene, amazing. Everybody in my theater lost their shit. Popcorn getting thrown everywhere. People were crying. People were yelling. It was, ah! So So it's a scene where the Avengers are sitting around. It's Black Widow, Captain America, Bruce Banner, War Machine, and Captain Marvel's beeper goes off, the one that she gave to Nick Fury, the one that Nick Fury was dialing at the end of Infinity War. It turns off, and they're all like, wait, what's happening? Captain America turns to Black Widow and is like, what did Fury tell you what to do? And Black Widow's like, he told me just to wait. And she turns around and boom, there's Captain Marvel, pissed the fuck off. And when I saw that, I was like, that's the Captain Marvel I want to see. I have 100% faith that the Russos are going to kill it with her character, that she's going to come off as a total badass. That's the version of Captain Marvel that I really want to see. And I really feel like you're going to see a more badass version of her character in Endgame. And I'm really, really, really excited to see what the Russo brothers do with her character. So overall, it was an okay movie. It wasn't a bad movie by any means. I mean, there's been some bad movies, but I did enjoy the movie. I got my money's worth. It was a great popcorn flick, but it wasn't the movie that I wanted it to be. It wasn't the movie that I've been anticipating and seeing. I've been anticipating and seeing a great Captain Marvel movie for such a long time, and to me, this wasn't it. And I'm really hoping that the next Captain Marvel movie will be leagues ahead of this movie. All right, so my score for Captain Marvel, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6 out of 10. Did enjoy it, did have fun with it. It is a movie I am going to buy on iTunes just so I can continue my collection of the Marvel film catalog that I have. But it is not a movie that I see myself seeing repeated times. I'm going to see it one more time in theaters, and that's really going to depend on if I like the movie a lot or if I'm just like kind of in between. Right now, I'm kind of, it was okay. But I do recommend you go out and see it because, like I said, it is a fun movie, and there is a lot to like in this movie. There's a ton to like. I said at the top, I'm going to talk a little bit about the controversy regarding this film. So a lot of people are criticizing the film for being pro-social justice, pro-feminism, pro-liberal, all that shit. Watching the movie the first time, I didn't get any of that. Sure, there is a feminist aspect to this movie. Obviously, the lead character is a woman who's a badass. Obviously, there is a piece of feminism that's involved in this movie. I'm pro-feminism in a lot of ways. I want women to feel empowered, and I want women to feel inspired, and I want women to rise up. At the same time, I don't follow the extremist viewpoints of that movement, but this movie doesn't have that. It's not an extremist feminist movie. It's a fun movie with a great female lead, with a great female character who's strong and kicks ass. And that's really where the politics of the movie end. It's not a political movie in any way. I'm not getting this whole social justice movement. So I'm just gonna say, if you're just going online and just talking shit about this movie and you haven't even seen it yet, if you're one of those assholes who have been downvoting this movie on Rotten Tomatoes and you haven't even seen the fucking movie, get a fucking life, for real. Like, no joke. And I'm not saying this because I'm a fan of this movie, because I'm not really the biggest fan of this movie, but I'm saying this as just a fan of movies in general. That kind of thinking fucks up art for us. It fucks up entertainment for us. And I have to spend my time talking shit like this instead of talking about how much I enjoyed and didn't enjoy the movie. Now I have to involve this into my video, or I feel like I have to involve it in the video. So I'm just saying, political opinions aside, get a fucking life, dude. Like, seriously. Anyway, so I might have lost some subscribers on that, but let me know if you guys enjoyed Captain Marvel. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down for this video. Let me know in the comment section how you felt, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. I really appreciate all the feedback you guys give me, and I have a lot more ideas coming up for my YouTube channel. Also, look out for my Shazam review coming pretty much the opening weekend of the film. I'm not up there yet where I can watch films at press screenings yet or advanced screenings. So normally I'm going to try and put out these film reviews the weekend the movies come out. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Film Reviews on my YouTube channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Peace!